Welcome back to DeJ'scussions, where we discuss the difficult, the uncomfortable, the unpopular, or the unknown about people or social topics. Thank you guys for coming back and joining me for the home improvement series, and this time we're going to tackle the topic of boundaries. So let's dive right on in. What are boundaries? The Cambridge definition for a boundary is a real or imagined line that marks the edge or limit of something. Personal boundaries define who we are and who we are not, what we are responsible for and what we are not responsible for. They define who we are as people end and where someone else begins. Boundaries can be emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. We can set them for personal space, sexuality, emotions, and thoughts, stuff or possessions, time and energy, culture, religion, and ethics. You can set boundaries with anyone, strangers, family, friends, coworkers, significant others, pretty much anybody you can think of, you are allowed to set boundaries for. Boundaries define our yard. Now, boundaries can sound divisive and like you want to be separate from others. However, understanding your own boundaries, others' boundaries, helping others understand our boundaries, and understanding others' boundaries will help you feel mentally and emotionally stable. A wall and boundary are different. A wall does not let people in. However, you can step across a boundary or open your gate to your yard. Physical, real-life boundaries mark visible property lines where someone else holds the deed to. Our yard is just that, our yard. We are only responsible for what goes on our property. We only have to maintain our grass, our plants, our driveway, and trim our bushes. We can help other people with their yard work, however, it's not our job to worry about someone else's yard. We also have to think about why we want to fix someone else's yard or cross boundaries so badly. What place inside you is that coming from? Is it because I actually don't feel good enough, so fixing the problems that others have around me makes me feel like I'm good enough or good at something or have a place on this earth because I'm pushing to fix another person's problem? Is it because my whole life hurtful things happened to me that I had no control over, so I naturally want to control or fix something that I could never before? So this is my defense mechanism. I may be afraid that what you're lacking might hurt me, so I try to control and fix what's going on in your life. But that's not actually wanting to help. It's just a defense mechanism for myself. Or maybe it's the opposite, and I had a bunch of responsibilities in the early part of my life because I had to control everything my whole life. So it's in my nature to fix and control things that are outside my boundaries. Codependency plays a huge hand in boundaries. Codependency is a relationship between two people where one person, the codependent, yearns and thrives on being needed, and the other individual is the enabler that relies on the codependent. But we'll get into that another time. So what are the types of boundaryless people? We have the compliant. That's a person who doesn't know how to say no to poor behavior. It'll end up having you feeling guilty to say no, or feeling like you don't have the strength to say no, or feeling controlled by others because you don't know how to say no. Then you have controllers. Those are the people who can't control their own yard, so they try to control others' yards around them, and they normally cannot hear the word no. Then you have the aggressive controller. They are normally physically and verbally abusive. You have the manipulative controller. They persuasively use guilt messages. And then you have the non-responsives. They can't say yes to doing nice things for others while having the ability to do so. They may feel this way due to feeling taken advantage of earlier and throughout life, so they refuse to let that happen again. So the answer is always no. You have avoidance. They can't accept positive things said or done for them, pretty much not accepting yes answers. So how can setting boundaries improve life for you and I? It can improve anger management, improve your assertiveness, minimize ongoing conflict in your life. Communication will be so much more clear. Your explanations don't have to be lengthy, but they can be short, sweet, and to the point, and also firm. It causes more self-awareness. You can be more confident in saying the word no. It was almost like a curse word for me at one point to say the word no. You'll be able to enjoy more of the things you'd enjoy to do. So why do boundaries mean so much to me? Well, I'm still learning how to set boundaries, but living life without boundaries was draining and all in all hurtful. Because setting boundaries has made huge benefits in my life. I have this huge desire to share it with everyone around me. So I encourage you to ask yourself a couple things. How do you process yes and no answers? What do yes and no answers mean to you? How do you react to yes and no responses? Where do you think you lie in the realm of boundaries? So I also urge you to look onto this on your own. I gave a lot of information in this video, so you may not have been able to retain everything, and that's okay. I encourage you to do research on your own to understand more about boundaries. So there's a couple books that I read to give me all this information that have helped me along my journey of establishing boundaries. And the books I've been reading are called Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend, and then also How to Stop Codependency and Set Boundaries by Bob Scott. Thank you so much for joining me today on DeJ'scussions. I hope that you were able to learn something from this video. And if you were able to identify or relate to anything that was mentioned in this video, do not be afraid to drop a comment down below. I am by no means an expert on this topic, so if you have anything to add to this topic, please don't hesitate to either comment below, email me, or message me on Instagram. I can't wait to see y'all next time as we discuss codependency. Don't forget to like and share this video if you learned anything, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be notified every time a new episode is released. I can't wait to see you guys next time.